Greetings YouTube, Captain Machine here, back for another video, and today we're talking about book 4 of the SLA Industries product line. We're about halfway there, so bear with me. And today we're talking about a very short book because it's an adventure, which is the Key of Delhyread. I think that's how you pronounce it. This is still available as far as I'm aware in print. You can approach Nightfall Games and they will sell this to you. And I'm going to talk about it. And this will be the 4th attempt I've actually done at this because I'm very much a stream of consciousness kind of guy. I would like to one day get to the point where I'm doing scripted reviews. Maybe I can work in some more jokes and be a bit more funnier. But what you can hear from me is from the heart, or at least what I'm thinking at the time. And one of the longest reasons why I have tried to get this review out, and it's why it's delayed some of my release schedules, is because I really do not like this book, and it hurts me to say that because I know that every single RPG product out there is a labour of love, and I would love to go down the route of only reviewing good stuff, only telling you about good stuff, but the honest truth is eventually I'm going to come across something which is terrible, and I want to be able to tell you about it. I want to tell you why I think it is bad. I'm not saying that it is bad in general. I wanted to let you know why I think it's bad, because after all reviews are entirely subjective, and my subjective approach to this is I do not like it. Let's go into it. It's not a very long book. It tallies in at about 30 pages, and with this you've got a what could essentially be called an introductory adventure. And my honest opinion is when you've got a product line that is unique or strange or unusual or slightly out of the ordinary, a introductory adventure is the best way to go. There's been some fantastic examples of this in the past. There was Purged and Clean for Warhammer 40,000 Dark Heresy, which give you 3 different versions of the game to play, 3 different play styles. There was the Warhammer Path of the Damned trilogy, which, although expensive, considering the fact how big it was really good at helping setting the scene and giving you something to work towards. There was that trilogy adventures that came out for Eberron, and the list goes on. One moment. Sorry about that, guys. I've caught this with a little bit of a flu, so if I occasionally have to jump cut, it's because I'm sneezing or coughing or whatever. Basically, an introductory adventure allows the GM to learn what makes the setting tick, and it also gives the players a really heavily scripted engagement with the setting as a whole, so they can get a grasp of what to expect in the future. It's not a be-all and end-all, but it's a fantastic way of getting into the setting. And I honestly believe that any RPG that comes out these days needs to have one of these available to buy within a couple of months of the core rulebook being released. The Key of Delhyread, if I'm saying that right, took a long time to come out, and so while it's the only adventure out there, that's why I'm calling it an introductory adventure. However, I don't believe it fulfills that criteria, and if it was doing an incredibly poor job of it. Basically, it's really hard to review an adventure without spoiling it, so I'm going to try my damnedest not to, but the spoiler warnings are ahead, and if you have an intention of playing this and not running it, then it might not be the best idea to continue watching this. I'm going to put a timestamp at the bottom and just fast forward to that bit, and that'll be where the spoilers end. Right, okay. First of all, there is a massive show of the hand, as it were, right from the very start. You get given a BPN by what it says is Internal Affairs. Now, that doesn't sound too unusual, because Internal Affairs in the real world is just an organisation which basically helps police itself. That's the whole point of it. And you would imagine in SLA Industries they would have something similar to that. They do. However, it's a different department to Internal Affairs. Internal Affairs is a myth as far as SLA Industries is concerned. It is something that scares operatives at night, blah blah blah. You get the idea. But the blatant fact you get given a handout with a word written on it right from the very start is showing the hand too soon. And it also says what happens if, when they meet their contact and they say, well, why does this have a word Internal Affairs written on it? The guy they meet, who is an Internal Affairs agent, tries to dismiss it as bad typing. It's like, I don't think that's going to happen. There's no way that your secretary is that incompetent that she's going to write down a mythical, fear-inducing department on the document. So right from the very go, it's name dropping, but in the entirely wrong way. Secondly, the bad guy that you're chasing is a ridiculously powerful Eben. When I say ridiculously powerful, he's got formulae, which is a method of determining how strong you are in the flux, so high up that he should have been a necrothop or driven mad by the dream visions by now. Sorry about that, phone. Right, okay, so yes, it's a case of it's hard to. It gives you no advice on how to run the fellow properly, to make him a challenge. He's more than a challenge just on paper. He doesn't need to be a challenge in real life. What you really need is a set of documents or some guidelines to tell you how not to kill the party outright with the fella. Because just go headlong against this fella, and this is kind of what the game encourages you to do from a start, will get you killed. Horribly, horribly killed. And it seems a bit unfair if you're drifting outside the realms of Cthulhu to actually just start killing characters outright. Especially new ones. Also, it's very open-ended. It follows the structure of a modern-day Cthulhu campaign in terms of how it's scripted. You tend to find you've got a beginning and an end, but there is no line that connects anything between those two. It's all just random intervening spots of activity, and it's up to the players to make the connections and for the GM to guide them along the way. However, it's so easy to go off topic that there is an inordinate amount of time spent in adventure debugging it. Well, that's at least that's what Shadowrun calls it, which is basically what to do if your group go off topic. They get the red herring and they run in the opposite direction. And the reason why I bring that up is because not only there is a lot of information on here about it and how to avoid it, but also when I played it, I've never run this, but I've played it with another group. We had the exact same problem. We basically snagged onto something that had almost no relevance to the plot, and we ran with it. And you know, we never got to finish the adventure because of it. And then, of course, the inevitable double cross comes at the end. And then bear in mind, this is the introductory adventure. The whole point of the double cross in SLA Industries is something you work towards, so that people start to wonder, you know, are my loyalties in the right place? Should I really be working with this corporation? Should I be working against it? Should I be trying to subvert it from within? Blah blah blah. You know, all those moral things that are supposed to be mentioned in SLA, but no one ever mentions them because they're too busy killing stuff and buying bigger guns. The fact that you get double cross right from the very start in this adventure. So basically, for GMs who want to get an idea of how to play the game, will pick up something like this. And if that's what they see right from the get-go, they're going to assume that's how the world works. And players might get a little bit disgruntled with it because it's like, well, it's a bit of a dick move, really. So, all in all, just to recap where we've come from, I'm not a huge fan of it for all of those reasons. As such, I give this a dismal 1 out of 5. If you like me and you're a bit of a collection freak, then of course pick it up. It's not that expensive, and there is some interesting stuff in here, especially to do with cross-town traffic and giving you a little bit of an insight on how the internal workings of SLA Industries actually work. But aside from that, I wouldn't recommend this to anyone other than a collector, unless you really want to know what makes me tick and try and find the bits that piss me off the most, which I know some people out there will do. Again, just to stress, because this is the first ever negative review I've ever done, this is my personal opinion. I'm not saying I'm right. There are plenty of other people out there that love this product. There are plenty of people, if you read the credits, who put a lot of effort and a lot of work into it. I'm not besmirching them in any way. It's just that my honest opinion when I come across this is a very, very negative one. And as such, I cannot recommend this to anyone other than collectors or people I consider to be masochistic. Thank you for your time, guys, and thanks for having me back.